I have finished the Christopher Nolan chronology. I've seen all of his movies and I've spoken about them each individually. And I mean, it's an amazing journey. You watch Christopher Nolan movies, each of them are fantastic in every way. None of them are bad. Not even none of the Nolan movies are not even like, alright, they're good, they're just good. Each of them are great and amazing and just masterful. And I am kind of saddened by the fact I've seen all the Christopher Nolan movies. I mean, I've seen them all. I think the only film I've never seen before doing this series was Dunkirk. And I got to see that in theaters. So that was an experience. That was something awesome. That was amazing. But yeah, I'm saddened by the fact that it's over. But anyways, let's get right into it. The film that we're talking about is Tenet. Tenet is an action sci-fi thriller. And the protagonist is armed with one word, Tenet, in which he discovers the word and discovers where it leads to in a nice spy espionage, which leads to extraordinary sci-fi thriller that involves time. And of course, the film's runtime is 150 minutes. I think around 150 minutes. It's PG-13 in color. And of course, the film's written and directed by Christopher Nolan, known for the films Dark Knight, Inception, and Interstellar. So, Tenet. This is a movie that I still remember watching this movie. First off, it's 2020. Terrible fucking year. Terrible year. People, the whole COVID thing. People couldn't go to movies. Probably the most depressing time ever, especially if you're like a film guy. Probably for me, because honestly, I was saddened by the fact that I couldn't go to the theaters. It was like a big period of time. And this movie was gonna come out. Christopher Nolan said, fuck it, we're doing it live. And said we're gonna put it in theaters for everyone to see. And I got to see it in theaters as it should be seen. Of course, with the face mask and all, I had to be separated by people. But other than that, it was an experience. It was something new. There's nothing like going to a movie theater during COVID. Like, I'm gonna tell that to my child. Like, hey man, you go to the movie theaters in peace, man. I used to go to the theater with a face mask. I had to fucking separate two people because I may or may not die from watching this. Who knows? But anyways, it's just such a cool experience. 2020 was a terrible fucking year. Terrible year. But Tenet happened. I saw it twice in theaters, actually. Saw it by myself, I saw it with a friend, and I also saw it with my dad at home in his big-ass TV. It was fun, he loved it. But yeah, Tenet. I can remember going to see that movie. That was very, like, a time period where it's, like, terrible time period, but it's a time period I can go back and be like, yeah, I saw Tenet when it was in COVID times. And yeah, that film, Tenet, yeah, let's talk about performances. Everybody is great. Every performance, everybody does a great job. Of course, the main character is John David Washington as the protagonist, who pretty much gets armed with that name, the word, Tenet. And he goes to different places to see what it is and to find the mission and to stop the world from ending. And John David Washington, I love him as an actor. He's always entertaining. And he's great. He's great as the character. He gets shit done, but also wants to protect the girl from the guy. And yeah, I like John David Washington. I think he's great in the movie. He's a really good actor. He did his dad proud in this one, and he's great. He's great in the movie. Robert Pattinson, in his big movie, I'd say, in a while. Of course, Robert Pattinson before this was doing, great movies, freaking amazing movies even. But he was doing indie shit. I guess this is the biggest movie that he's done before he did the Batman. And he's the guy, he helps John David Washington with the mission. They grow close to each other, they help each other, and he knows the mission. He's a mysterious guy. And Robert Pattinson's great. I like Robert Pattinson. He's such a good actor. And he's great in the movie. He's entertaining, he's fun, and I just love the banter and just the chemistry between him and John David Washington, and they're great. You also got the character of Elizabeth Debicki, the woman who's married to the Russian guy, aka the bad guy, and she's being held captive in a way that she continues to be with him solely to see her son, and she wants to get out of it. And Elizabeth Debicki, great actress. She's really good in this movie. Very, very understandable. You root for the character in a way where it's like, fuck this guy, man. Get out of here. Be with your son. But it's hard because this guy's such a powerful person. He sees the future and he knows where things are going to go. And it's hard for her. And I really like Elizabeth Debicki in the movie. She's really good. Kenneth Branagh. think that's how you pronounce her name, I'm sorry, is the character of Sator, the man who knows the future, and he has a weapon that can lead to mass destruction. And yeah, Kenneth Branagh, very intimidating in this movie, very intimidating. I'm just watching this guy just do some fucked up shit to his woman, and just the psychological warfare and shit. It's just like, this dude's terrible person. Kenneth Branagh, very intimidating in this movie. I was just sitting there watching the movie being like, alright dude, you're doing that. Wow. But yeah, great in the movie. You also got another supporting actress, the girl, who pretty much tells him, hey, the job, what to do, and pretty much tells him the conflict and just how to help. And yeah, she's good in the movie. She was a good, I guess, navigator. She was cool. And you also got a short appearance by Michael Caine, which is always exciting. I love seeing Michael Caine. He's an amazing actor. And yeah, he's Sir Michael. Funny enough, for a guy named Michael Caine, they call him Sir Michael, who, you know, tells him about what what he needs to do, a little bit of backstory of the character, a little explanation dump in a way. And yeah, it was even for an explanation dump, seeing Michael Caine, it was great. I don't mind it. I love it to be from Michael Caine, so that's great. I don't mind it. And yeah, all around the performances are great. The direction by Christopher Nolan is fantastic. First off, there's things that happen during the movie that I don't want to say, because just in case you don't fucking know anything. Like, let's say you go into Tenet saying, "Oh, Christopher Nolan, let's watch a movie." I don't want to say anything, but damn, direction is remarkable in a way for what they do in specific action sequences that are really thrilling and really like mind-boggling in a way where you're like, how the fuck are you doing that? But that's Christopher Nolan, man. The writing is good. Again, the film is it's not a very character-driven movie in a way. It's very much like, all right, you're a spy, you gotta go in there, you gotta do the job, and you don't know much about the character and what he is and what he's shit. It's very much him, but you experience the film, I guess, with him in a way, but you don't get to know him in a way. That's the best way. But the writing is pretty good. The story and just what they do is really thrilling and very interesting, and it really like grasps you. You're like, oh shit, hell yeah, I can't. Wow, all right, I want to see how this goes, and it's really good. I thought the writing is good. The chemistry, everybody works well together. Specifically, Patterson, Washington, they work so well together. I love the two. They really nail it. And Debicki as well. They all work very well together. And I forgot the other performances. You got Aaron Taylor Johnson is in the movie. He's like the guy who, yeah, he just helps the guys. He's a military man who makes the strategies, and he's cool. Also, the guy from Yesterday is in this, who is the one that flies the plane and helps them out with the mission. Yeah, he's cool. The cinematography, my god, this is a well-shot movie. This, of course, Hoyt Van did this. Cinematography is fantastic. This is a beautiful looking movie, very well shot, and the cinematography and how they did the sequences is just beautiful in a way. Music, of course, not by hand, is the music by Ludwig Göransson. He's one of the best young composers working today. I love the theme song for Mandalorian. He's a really good composer, and specifically for this movie, the music is fantastic. Especially in theaters, when I saw this movie for the first time, I felt like I was gonna blow up because it was so loud. It was like dun, 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 dun. You're fucking feeling like you're shaking. It's freaking, the music is so loud. It's crazy. But the music score is amazing. This is a score that definitely didn't get much love from the critics in a way, but not love, but it didn't get any nomination. I believe this film should have. If it, like, look, it's not the best Nolan film, but it should have gotten at least nominated for score. Fucking thing. The music was really good. The VFX artists, again, this is very practical. Again, I don't know if there's even any of the visual effects. Maybe they're just little tints of it, but whatever they did, good job. The action scenes are great, very thrilling, and how some of the action sequences and how they deal with it is really fun and really just like interesting. You're like watching, holy fuck, how are they doing it? It's crazy. This movie is like a roller coaster in a way. It's like, all right, I'm getting into the story. All right, wow, that shit's happening. Oh shit, what the fuck? And then by the end you're like, what the fuck? You're just there sitting there like, what's happening? Wow. Yeah, the writing is very complicated. This is definitely easily the most complicated Nolan movie. It's not the movie that would be the most digestible for viewers. Like, Inception is a fucking cakewalk compared to Tenet. Like, you could see Tenet, Inception, and be enjoying it and be like, alright, I get the story. I like the concept. Tenet, you're just watching the story unfold and you're just there like, alright, I'm gonna have to watch a video of what's happening. But other than that, pretty cool, pretty good. But yeah, it's very crazy, very complex, but I didn't mind it. I was like, fuck it. Let me just enjoy the experience when I first saw it. And I get the story more and more with time, but it's still it's a little hard to unravel in a way. But I thought the movie's great. I thought the movie's really good. The sequences are fantastic. How they did specific scenes, to me personally, has to be a reason why I get this on Blu-ray. Because at that point, it's like, I want to know how the fuck you do this. This is remarkable. Yeah, but other around, it's such a great movie. It's really good. It's not the best Nolan movie in a way, but it's still a great film. Very fun, very interesting. The concept of what they deal with and all that, and just the stakes as well. When the world is coming to an end, you gotta stop it. Is very fun and just very thrilling from beginning to end. And I thought Tenet is fantastic. It's a movie that I'm glad I saw in theaters, because it's like before I saw Tenet, I didn't get to see a movie for a very, very long time. And I'm glad that the first time I see a movie in a movie theater after like months was a Christopher Nolan movie, and that's what I get from that experience. So for that, it gets a 4 out of 5 stars. Great movie, really good from beginning to end, and I thought the film is just masterfully done, and it's one of Nolan's, I guess, underrated masterpiece in a way, because it's like, of course, it's very hard to unravel. There's a lot of shit in this movie that, like, you can tell there's a lot of plot points, a lot of just things that are like, okay, I don't get it, what the fuck, a lot of crazy shit that is mind boggles you in a way, but at the end of the experience, I thought, hell, this is a great movie, and very, very bold, and very just like, wow, the concept is really interesting, and the story, and just the thrills, and just how they do just those sequences is really just like, gotta respect the workers in this one. So anyways, those are my thoughts for Tenet, and I'll see you guys when Oppenheimer comes out.